The candidates for the Bachelor of Business Administration degree from the Tippie College of Business have gathered to celebrate commencement. All are in their places. These proceedings are hereby called to order. You may be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce the Dean of the Tippie College of Business and Professor of Marketing, Dr. Sarah Fisher-Gardiel.
Thank you. Thank you, Dean Christoph Brown. Good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of the Tippie College of Business and the University of Iowa, I want to welcome all of you, graduating seniors, parents, family members, friends, faculty, and staff of the college, to our commencement in this beautiful place, Hancher Auditorium. All of us here are proud of our university and our college, and especially today, of our graduates. This commencement allows us to honor their accomplishments. We come together to celebrate and reflect upon an important milestone in the lives of these students and in their families, the completion of their undergraduate education. Today, many emotions fill this auditorium. For our graduates, these emotions range from the excitement and anticipation to uncertainty and apprehension about the future. For parents or spouses, the range of emotion includes pride, certainty, and in some cases, I suspect, a profound sense of financial relief. Yes, good applaud. Before we proceed further, I would like to introduce the faculty and invited guests who are joining us today to honor the graduates as they earn their degrees. Would you please stand as I call your name? Kevin Donato, lecturer and director of the undergraduate program in accounting. Andrea Luangroth, assistant professor of marketing. Steve Balin, distinguished alum and managing director of corporate finance and restructuring at FTI Consulting. Dr. Sue Curry, interim vice president and provost of the university. Dr. Amy Christoph Brown, senior associate dean and professor of management and organizations. Dr. Ken Brown, associate dean, undergraduate programs, and professor of management and organizations. Dr. Michelle Williams, assistant professor of management and organizations. Jennifer Furman, lecturer and director of the undergraduate program in economics. And Dr. Jeffrey Ullman, associate professor and co-director of the undergraduate program in management science. Two of our faculty are serving as marshals today, John Garfinkel, professor of finance, and Bob Walker, lecturer of the John Papajohn Entrepreneurship Center. I would also like to give special thanks and recognition to the members of the Iowa Brass Quintet. On the horn, Jeffrey Agrill. On trombone, Matthew Halbert. On tuba, John Manning. And on trumpets, Amy Schendel and Evan Fowler. Thank you for joining us. All of our proceedings today will be interpreted by Scotty Van Eisingham. Thank you, Scotty. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our speaker for commencement, Stephen Balin. At one time, he was sitting where you are today, wearing his cap and gown and preparing for a professional life after earning his accounting degree at the University of Iowa. In fact, when I called him to ask him to be a speaker for one of our graduations, he especially asked that he could speak at a December graduation because that was when he graduated, and he fondly remembered that ceremony. Mr. Balin is the managing director within the corporate and finance restructuring practice of FTI Consulting, where he performs financial and accounting due diligence on behalf of global financial institutions. He has spent a career in public accounting and financial consulting. He received his BBA in accounting from the University of Iowa, and in fact, he is a second-generation Hawkeye. His mother earned her PhD here in business education. His MBA is from Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management. He is a Tippie College of Business 2016 Alumnus of the Year and a past member and president of our Professional Accounting Council in the college. He and his wife Pamela have 2 children, Hannah and Jacob, and they live in Chicago, Illinois. I would just add that Steve has been a remarkable alum in terms of his engagement with the college, and he models something that I hope our graduates will think about. He stays connected, he stays involved. He has been with us in terms of advising roles. He has contributed financially. He has especially focused on programs that we have for first-gen and diverse students in Chicago. And we are so grateful for all the many ways over the years that Stephen has supported us in the college. But it is really a special thrill to welcome him as our commencement speaker today. Stephen.
Thank you, Dean. Very nice words, making me blush. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to speak to you today on this milestone, a significant milestone in your lives. I'd like to thank Dean Gardiel, the faculty, and the administration for giving me the opportunity to do so. My name is Stephen Balin, and when I graduated, the Papa John building, which was recently renovated, hadn't been built yet. Now, before I get started, you should cherish your remaining time on campus with your classmates and friends, because in one moment you're listening to the commencement speaker, and in the next 25 years will have passed, and you will be giving a commencement speech, wondering how did I get here and where did the time go? After I was given the opportunity to speak to you, I thought about my career progression and what I observed in my various consulting experiences. And I also thought of what advice would have been helpful to me as the start of my career, or what I should have listened to. Although I had a good job with Arthur Andersen, I remember being apprehensive and not being sure of what would come next. Some of you probably feel the same way now. So I'll share with you some ideas and things to think about as you begin your careers. The first is that while you may be unsure of what the future may hold, believe that you have the right to be successful. The occupants of the executive floor have not been predetermined, and it is not for a chosen few. No one has written your future for you. Each and every one of you has the capacity and the tools necessary to be successful. Your presence here today is testimony to that potential. Some may have more connections or other perceived advantages, while others may have more obstacles to overcome. However, at the end of the day, it will be who you see in the mirror, your work ethic, your tenacity, and your perseverance that will determine your outcome. The second is that a successful career requires goal setting, planning, and execution. Herm Edwards, a former NFL coach, once said, "A goal without a plan is a wish." Similarly, people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. Without goals and plans, you will drift professionally and your career will not have any direction. So if you have not done so, think about your future and develop short, medium, and long-term goals. Seek out advice from recent graduates, not so recent graduates like myself, faculty, or heaven forbid, your parents. Ask questions. How do the leaders within your organization get to where they are now? What do they do to become successful? Seek out Iowa graduates in your field or industry and get their advice. Since they told me to keep it short, because, parties, here are a few things to consider. Keep in mind that in your first opportunity, you will be paid to learn, so treat it as such. Ask questions. Be curious. Understand what is assigned to you and the purpose thereof. Learn what makes right, right, and wrong, wrong. A related point is that you don't have to necessarily love every job, but if you don't love a given job, make sure that you're getting something from it. Take advantage of the opportunities to develop the foundational and transferable skills that you will use throughout your careers. Be assertive and seek out both a mentor and a sponsor. A mentor will show you how to do your job. A sponsor will advocate on your behalf for you to be given the challenging and visible opportunities to prove yourself. But don't solely rely on mentors and sponsors. They're great, but you have to advocate for yourself. People both within and outside of your organization will be more likely to help you progress when they see that you're taking your first opportunity and career seriously. Be able to answer the simple question: do you think or do you know? While you will be paid to think, go about your work in a fact-based and reasoned manner. This simple question will lead you to be more deliberate and pragmatic in your work, and more precise in communicating your conclusions with your coworkers. Sorry, school doesn't really end here. It's just now called work, and it comes with performance reviews instead of homework. You and your employer will have a relationship where one of you will have to justify continuing. If you are valued by your organization, they will fight to keep you when you're presented with other opportunities. If you're not, then you do the math. Do what's necessary to be viewed favorably at work. Again, ask questions and be proactive. Get timely feedback from your superiors and your coworkers on your job performance. You don't want to learn of any issues when decisions on raises and promotions are being made. Develop a plan and a time frame to address any areas for improvement. It's okay to make mistakes. Just try not to repeat them. While people want you to learn from your mistakes, more importantly, they want to see progression and development. Contribute to your community. Most of you have contributed your time or resources to charitable organizations while you were in school. You did so because you thought it was the right thing to do and employers encourage it. If you have not done so, I would join a charitable organization as you begin your career. You will need to balance your time with work and other responsibilities, so choose wisely and make a commitment that you can keep. Charities typically reference the companies that their directors work for on their websites. Working for a charity will expose you to people from different walks of life and will increase the breadth and depth of your network. Increasing responsibility at a charity will be a testimony to your ability to multitask and to your multidimensional personality. And it will look good when applying for graduate school and as you progress throughout your career. And finally, remember your school. Your relationship with Iowa hasn't ended. It's just beginning a new chapter. Join your local Iowa club. Consider the Young Alumni Board. Though we are the smallest university in the Big Ten Conference, that just means it'll be easier for you to meaningfully contribute. Contribute what you can of your time, talent, or treasure. Stay engaged. Your ongoing engagement with the Hawkeye community may help you find that dream job, mentor, or even life partner. And as for the administration and faculty, when these graduates call and ask how they can help, please make sure that you can answer accordingly. To conclude, know that you will be successful. Your future will be what you make of it. Always do your best and do what you are capable of. I'll leave you with this quote by Orson Swett Martin, the founder of Success Magazine. Find your purpose and fling your life out to it. Find a way or make one. Try with all your might, self-made or never made. Congratulations, class of 2017, and go Hawks.
Thank you, Stephen, for your inspiring remarks. The business world does expect that we continue to learn, to plan, to grow, and to give back. And from what I know of our graduates, they're going to meet and exceed those expectations. It's my pleasure to introduce today's student speaker, Molly Monroe. Molly is from Davenport, Iowa, and a third-generation Hawkeye. She's graduating today with a BBA in economics and a certificate in writing. During her time at the University of Iowa, Molly has served on the Tippie College of Business Judicial Board and as a peer tutor for the Frank Business Communications Center. Last fall, Molly spent a semester studying in Glasgow, Scotland. She was awarded first place for her submission in the 2015 Propus Ethics Essay Contest and was recognized as a Tippie 21 Under 21 member in 2017. Molly was also selected to represent the University of Iowa at the Eller Collegiate Ethics Case Competition at the University of Arizona this October. Molly and her teammate were awarded our highest placing ever, 5th place nationally, and won, first place, the Stephanie Chance Brightline Essay Award, further testifying to her writing abilities. After graduation, Molly will start as an operations analyst for Nyhart, an actuarial firm in Kansas City. Molly is joined here today by her parents and 2 sisters in the audience.
Thank you, Dean Brown, for your kind introduction. Good afternoon, University of Iowa faculty and staff, parents, family members, friends, and fellow graduates. It is an honor to be here today, and an honor to be a member of the 2nd Tippie College of Business graduating class of 2017. To my fellow graduates, I want to begin with a congratulations. Our drive, integrity, and determination have reserved our spots on the graduating stage and will continue to push and motivate us in our future endeavors. While it is impossible to sum up all of the events, people, and memories that defined my college experience, I can still remember how I felt during my first few weeks on campus. As a freshman, the anonymity of sitting in a huge lecture hall was strange and nerve-wracking. Yet these feelings were matched with excitement as I appreciated the fresh surroundings and new faces. At Tippie, I had the opportunity to define my character, values, and aspirations. That is the opportunity we all had. We had time to grow as students and as individuals. We encouraged one another to make the most of these years. We had the support to explore our interests in an environment that was open-minded and challenging. Tippie fully welcomed me, and even my ever-changing goals. I am so thankful for my advisor with her patience as I changed my major from management to maybe anthropology, to possibly health and human physiology, to accounting, to marketing, to finally economics. Although time and time again, my ideas changed of what I could become and what I wanted to be, I never felt discouraged or impractical. I never felt that I did not belong where I was. Support and encouragement are fostered in the spirit of Tippie students and grounded in its faculty. During my sophomore year, I signed up for an 8 a.m. Introduction to Marketing lecture. Although not a morning person, I was determined not to miss a single class until one morning I was too sick to make it to lecture. The following day, while walking in the business building, I heard a gruff, loud, "Where were you yesterday?" I looked up to see my marketing professor, Dave Collins, the professor whose 8 a.m. lecture I had missed for the first time. I was in a state of shock and panic as I explained the reason behind my absence. With a laugh, he said he was glad that I was feeling better, and he would look for me in class tomorrow. I had never spoken to Professor Collins before that day. In a classroom of almost 400 students, I figured I was another face in the crowd. However, here at Tippie, professors and faculty hold expectations for students, high expectations. I never missed Professor Collins' class again. Maybe it was a stroke of luck for my immune system, or maybe it was the understanding that we depend on one another in Tippie. Tippie is not your typical big university setting. The Tippie I experienced was a small, close-knit community filled with promise. A community where we depended on one another to hold up our end of the bargain, whether it was making it to class or completing your part of a group project. A community where we held one another to high standards because we had the confidence that we would continue to meet them. In our Tippie community, we all had our fair share of group projects. Getting assigned to a group seemed to be a matter of luck, like randomly drawing cards from a deck, as we did in Intro to Management. Yet these inherently Tippie group experiences develop our values and work ethic. In my business communication and protocol class, I was fortunate to be in a group with 3 extremely motivated individuals. We shared one common goal: to deliver the best report deck a BCAP instructor has ever seen. Each member was committed to putting in the work. We often held meetings for 5 to 6 hours as we built on one another's energy and attitudes. Ultimately, our team succeeded because of our solidarity. We felt that we owed it to one another to put forth our best work. We all can relate back to a moment when we felt that we owed our best work to someone or something. This sense of commitment lends itself to the drive and the achievements that have brought us here today and will continue to motivate us. Regardless of the next step in our lives, whether it be a new job, entering a graduate program, or an unknown yet promising next chapter, let's work to make our new environment just as welcoming and encouraging as where we spent these past few years. We owe it to ourselves to continue to deliver on the Tippie promise. While I'm certain I do not know each face in the audience today, I'm sure we've passed one another in the hall, shared a lecture, or at least been in Kinnick on the same day. I'm also sure that we share a common motivation for leading by example, grounded in what we've experienced at Tippie. Thank you for making these years inspiring, transformational, and most importantly, enjoyable. Thank you for sharing moments of laughter and stress. Thank you for being authentically and effortlessly welcoming and kind. I also encourage you to take a moment to thank those who have supported you throughout your college years. Friends, family members, parents, and loved ones. We could have not done it without you. And finally, take a moment to congratulate yourself. Your spot here today is possible through your own drive and commitment. You have done the hard work. Congratulations, class of 2017. Let's take this success at Tippie and pursue new challenges with confidence in our abilities and character.
Thank you so much, Molly, for sharing with us your experiences on the welcoming Tippie community. At this time, we would like to recognize those students graduating with honors and academic distinction. The Tippie College of Business awards degrees with highest distinction to students in the highest 2% of the graduating class, with high distinction to students in the next highest 3%, and with distinction to students in the next highest 5%. Distinction is designated by gold stars worn on the left sleeve. 3 stars indicate graduation with highest distinction, 2 stars with high distinction, and 1 star with distinction. As I call each group of students, please rise to be recognized. Audience, I ask that you hold your applause until all the students graduating with distinction have been recognized. Will those graduating with highest distinction please stand? Will those graduating with high distinction please stand? Will those graduating with distinction please stand? Please join me in congratulating these students. They will also be recognized individually during the presentation of the graduates. Membership in Beta Gamma Sigma is the highest recognition a business student can earn. To be eligible for membership, students' individual academic ranking must place them in the upper 10% of the junior class or in the upper 10% of the senior class. Students graduating as members of Beta Gamma Sigma wear royal blue and gold cordons draped over their shoulders. Would the students graduating as members of Beta Gamma Sigma please stand? Congratulations. We would also like to recognize the students who are graduating in the Tippie College of Business Honors Program. This program provides an opportunity for outstanding students to do independent research in business and to work closely with one or more faculty members. Each of the students graduating with honors has maintained a 3.5 grade point average and written a thesis relevant to their academic interest or major. Students graduating with honors wear white cordons draped over their shoulders and will be recognized during the presentation of the graduates.
Now what we've been waiting for, right? Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Business Administration please rise? Provost Curry. These candidates have completed all of the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Business Administration, and they are recommended to you by the faculty of the Tippie College of Business for the conferring of this degree.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the Tippie College of Business and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I confer on each of you the degree Bachelor of Business Administration as qualified and designated.
Will the graduates please be seated? Ken Brown, the Associate Dean for Undergraduate Program and Professor of Management and Organization, will now recognize each of the candidates individually. Will the marshals please begin leading the graduates forward to be recognized?
Eric Charles Hale with distinction with university honors and with honors in finance. Nick Steingraber with high distinction. Riley Fergus. Jaeyoung Choi. Juan Matamoros. Sean DeRoche. Zach Kozlowski. Ashley Nicole Rashid. Nick Ruchis. Jack Sicola. Nicholas Cerruti. Kishan Patel. Michael Glower with distinction. Grant Bender. Alexander Charper. Austin J. McCartan. Ethan Ekoff with distinction. Molly Monroe with highest distinction. John Fries. Cameron Goodale. Peggy McDonald. Stephanie Roseberry. Alexis Weber. Jake Hewlett. Connor James Kane. Joseph Simonetti. Dino DeMarco. Andrew Callie. Tom Lyons. Stephen Nicknish. Brooke Walding. Olivia Pekenbrock with high distinction. Drew Wedewer. Jacob Workenthan. Zach Rubenbauer. Jack Abrahamson with high distinction with honors in business administration. John Sheely with distinction with honors in business administration. Nicholas Berry with highest distinction with university honors and honors in finance. Tammy Campbell with distinction. John Lepick. Taylor Weingart with distinction with honors in finance. Madison Niehoven. Salio Abado. Xincheng Guao. Yuchen Gao. Siddig with distinction with university honors. Abdullah Al-Momani. Mohammed Harden. Sheikh Nidayi. Ryan Naja. Alejandro Contreras. Emma Teese. Olivia Wilder with distinction. Nicole Verschaw. Kimberly Helling. Alexis Ryle. Yuping Wu. Rushuan Lei. Rob Steinke. Shijian Yuan. Mackenzie D. David Cintron III. Brendan Tees. Kiki Shi. Maximilian Franzols. Claire Bocher, with distinction with university honors. Hewen So with high distinction. Kelly Schneider with distinction. Natasha Lismanto. Heewon Kim. Haerun Kim. Yongdo Go. Junsong Ri. Greg Scandura. Tyler Cherry. Cody Johnson. Matthew Fritz. Chris Gaum. Shannon Passarelli. Laura Spatz. Xuan Yi Han. Xiaoyi Hua. Yongbin Huang. John Locke. Vin Fan. Matt Schneider with distinction. Jalen Undernear. Annika Olson with highest distinction. Allison Disterhoft. William Converse. Bryce Gramling. Brennan Pace. Ryan Rubin. Maxwell Polisic. Seth Dolan. Jesus Carrasco. Connor Dougal. Corbin Henningsen. Shida Ma. Meng Niu with high distinction. Minsuk Choi. Ji Lee. Inhee Choi. Jisoo Lee. Samuel Allison. Derek Ikoma. Carmen Lee. Evan Stimmel. Tyler Blondell. Adam Reese. Emma Eppard with distinction. Thomas Duval. Carson Rose Miller. Abigail Rose Hernandez. Colin Nielsen. Alex Sangaila. Eric Schemmel. Kara Jungers. Ton Johnson. Nicholas Arlen. Kyle Wyrup. Paige Clark. Ryan Hess. Luke Hammis. Lauren Hargrave. Rafael Ramirez. Matthew Daniel Porter. Landon Smith. Natalie Ramsey. Macy Lancer. Lucas Cornelison. Catherine Walker with distinction. Morgan Flory. Shi Chen. Siwan Wu. Ziyang Huang. Jiaotao Zhang. Shun Xing. Alexander Powell. Laura Justice. Yitong Yong. Jimei Wang. Yunfang Sun with highest distinction. Yini Xu. Linbei Tong. Yunmeng Han. Jijing Chen. Jia Xi. Yingda Pan. Yuang Wang. Haiying Wang. Yongjun Xiu. Hujun Yu. The turning of the tassel is the traditional gesture by which each student signifies passage from degree candidate to graduate. Will each of you now mark your new status by turning the tassel of your cap from the right side to the left side? Congratulations, each and every one of you. Even if I mispronounce your name, you've graduated.
Graduates, today marks a very special milestone in your lives. Since you arrived on campus, each of you has worked extremely hard toward a goal that you reached today, wearing your cap and gown, walking across this stage, and receiving your degree from the Tippie College of Business. As you made progress toward your degree, each year you faced many challenges, made discoveries about yourselves and others, and grew into leaders who will make a difference in the world. For those of you in the audience, we share your pride. But also you should be proud of what you have done to help these graduates accomplish their goals. Your guidance, understanding, compassion, your faith in their abilities, and your love and support have been critical to their success. For what you have done to help these graduates, let's all thank them. As you graduate today, your mind is flooded with images and memories and emotion. Yet, as you leave the Tippie College, you take all those powerful and positive attributes that a degree at the University of Iowa provides. The first is pride. You have received a degree from one of America's leading universities. Your degree has not been given without successful consideration, and as you enter the workplace, you will discover that what you have learned at Iowa rivals and even exceeds what others have received elsewhere. The second is a strong work ethic. There is no substitute for hard work. As Tippie students, you have demonstrated this work ethic daily, and as graduates, you will take this work ethic with you as you enter the next stage in life. It will serve you very well, and I hear it from our employers all the time. The third is compassion. Today, many of you have reached the end of your academic journey, and eventually, you will all reach the end of your professional one as well. When your professional journey is done, remember that what really matters are the relationships you develop and nurture, the people you touch, and the lives that you change. Remember those who have helped you, influenced you, and played a role in your success. And we hope that in the years to come, you will remember fondly your time here, remain engaged with the Tippie College, and support this institution as generously as the alums who have gone before you. We are very proud of the Tippie class of 2017. In addition to being talented academically, you have demonstrated leadership, community spirit, and a global sensibility. You are indeed ready to be successful citizens of the world. Before we depart, I would like to invite all of you to join us for a brief reception honoring the graduates in the lobby. There is another graduation ceremony later this afternoon, so we can't linger a great deal of time, but please stop and join us for a few minutes. And now we will conclude today's commencement ceremony. I ask that everyone please remain seated as the platform party will exit, followed by the graduates.